Thanks.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Finally, I could get online.
Dr. Sharona. What happened? What happened?
I don't, I guess Zoom has been banned here. So the last time
Seriously?
I tried
Are you from Tehran or from
VPN,
somewhere else?
it works now.
You're in
Now,
Tehran
now
now?
I'm in Tehran.
Okay. It was banned before?
Yeah.
It was banned.
No, no, Zoom was, we didn't need any VPN for that. But today I tried many times. It didn't work. But I use
Okay.
VPN now, so I could get online.
Right. Alhamdulillah. You managed. Right. Off you go.
Right, so my dear, your time is on now. So if you're ready, we can start with your presentation. Bear in mind to manage your time, please.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck with your presentation. I off the video for now. And yeah, your 10 minutes to start from now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. So my name is Nur Azia Abdul Kadir. My topic today is navigating poverty and health literacy in protected communities using net map strategies. Right. As a background, a research background, so basically this research is related to health literacy. So we measure health literacy is by assessing an individual's ability to assess, to understand, and to apply the basic health information in their daily life. So when these individuals have this health literacy, they could have these better health outcomes, understand medical instruction, and they know about disease prevention. This research is done to the protected community in Taman Negara Pahang. Taman Negara Pahang is a national park located in Pahang, Malaysia. So basically, these community who are living in this protected area have unique challenges due to conservation policy. They have limited development and economic activities, which lead to the poverty, and this may impact their health literacy status. So this study have two objectives. The first one is to analyze the stakeholders network in health literacy issued among the protected communities, and also to explore the stakeholders' perception of the barriers and strategy to improve the health literacy among the protected communities. By looking at the global health literacy, we know that the community living in the protected area, they have this poverty issue due to the geographic isolation and low education level. Some factors of the limited health literacy found, such as the language and the cultural barriers, which hinder communication with healthcare providers, and also some of the indigenous population, they struggle with preventive care and chronic disease management. In Malaysia, we can say that it is quite similar where we do also have this infrastructure development, the limited infrastructure development because of the conservation policy. And then, yeah, some of the communities, they live in the poverty too. Some of these community have low health literacy because of the delayed care, they get late treatment, yeah, they have poor disease management and low preventive measures. And stakeholder fragmentation weakens collective health interventions too. Research design for this study is a qualitative research. So the research tool used is the NetMap tool and focus group discussion. By looking at the picture, you can see that the first one is the NetMap tool, where we do some activities to get the data from the stakeholder. And the second picture is the focus group discussion. And we did on the social network analysis and thematic analysis for the analysis part. The findings for the first objective on the stakeholders network. So since we have the 16 stakeholders that come to the focus group discussions, we have analyzed their influences. So we analyze the out degree. Out degree means the information that they give to the others, while the in degree is the information of the health literacy that they receive. The closeness is the network among the stakeholders, from one stakeholder to another stakeholder. And the betweenness is the centrality of the stakeholder. If you look at the diagram, if the stakeholder located what we call in the middle of the diagram means they have better betweenness and they have more influences, power. So from the diagram, from the table here, you can see that there are four stakeholders, which is the YB Dun Tahan. YB Dun Tahan is the local authority in that area. Jakwa is the Department of Indigenous People. The Klinik Kesihatan is the local clinics and the school. So these four stakeholders, we can see that the number of the betweenness is bigger. This is to show that they have the more influence power compared to the other stakeholders. Based on the finding, the network density is 0.47. It is well connected according to the literature. And key influences, as I mentioned earlier, the four, which is the YB Dun Tahan, Jakwa, Klinik Kesihatan, and school. Second objective, the findings on the barrier and the proposed strategies. So we have, based on the thematic analysis, we found 3 themes on the health literacy barriers due to education, infrastructure and financial support, and also policy and stakeholder engagement. For education, we have 3 sub-themes on the health education, health awareness, and language and communication. So according to the stakeholders, they propose a strategy to improve the health literacy under this education by having health talks, seminar, regular checkups, multilingual outreach programs, integrating health education in school. For the infrastructure and financial support, we have 5 sub-themes under network facilities, public transportation, healthcare facilities, poverty and employment status. So stakeholders propose strategies to improve the health literacy among the communities by improve the internet connectivity and transport, build new healthcare facilities, recruit medical staff, and support small businesses and vocational training. And the last themes on the health literacy barrier, which is the policy and stakeholder engagement. The sub-theme is under the conservation policy. So the stakeholders propose some strategies such as implement an eco-friendly infrastructure, balance conservation with communities' well-being, and enhance stakeholder collaboration. So as a discussion, so we found that the stakeholder collaboration is essential for improving health literacy among the communities in the protected areas. And school as a key player instead of the other 3 stakeholders, we think that the school is the key players because school is the place to disseminate the information, especially in the health information by integrating health education, which can create long-term impact. And a multi-sectoral approaches is needed to align conservation and health policies. So as a conclusion, health literacy in Taman Negara Pahang is hindered by educational, infrastructural, financial, and policy barriers. Stakeholder engagement and multi-sector approaches are necessary, and future research should explore scalability to other protected communities. Thank you very much. Dr. Sharona?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. Any question or any feedback from the audiences, please? Otherwise, I still have few. All right. So, my dear, well done. The title of your study is amazing. But the second page, if I don't mistaken, yeah, it's page number 2 after the title. Can you go to that one? Yeah.
Yes.
Here you are talking about your nation. You know that I love Malaysia. I used to live there, and I'm very proud of Malaysia. It's not personal. It's we are talking about academic activities. So when you write down there regarding Pahang, limit and impact their health.
I think the network is lagging. I can't hear you, doctor.
Can you hear me, my dear?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
All right. So I said that when you in any academic writing, when you talk about something, as even it can be your like problem identification, you should come up and support what you say with a reference. So here you have mentioned in Pahang, limited development and economic activities lead to poverty and impact their health status. So can you bring any citation that support this statement, or is it your own personal opinion?
I did mention in the paper, but here I just took the keyword.
Yeah, so since during your presentation, you only, I don't have access to your paper. So in the first page, when I read that, I could see here that you said that limited development and economic activities lead to poverty in Pahang. It's a very sensitive issue when you talk about a country with no citation. So next time when you have a presentation, it's better for you when you mention anything like this. So you should coming up with your references or citation. And my next question is regarding your research methodology. So the FGD focus group discussion, it's with 16, right? 16
Yes, stakeholder.
stakeholders, yeah. So, but you didn't have any questionnaire from the people there, or you didn't need any. I mean, how did you pick this 16? How did you come up with the number 16?
Oh,
Why you didn't
uh,
pick 10, or why you didn't pick 50? And
the
what was the topic for them to discuss?
Okay. So before we call them to this focus group discussion, we have go to the Taman Negara Pahang, and we met the Jakwa, the Department of Orang Asli. We met clinics, and through the discussion with them, they asked me to call these people. So these 16 people is the expert in their own field.
Selected by the Orang Asli institution or something, yeah, right?
Yes, and also the government officers there.
All right. So these are something when you have 10 minutes to present, you try to mention to make a clear picture for the audiences, because I was like Blair. So why 16? So why not 15?
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell them it has been something that they did for you in the collaboration. And may I know what was the topic for this
Okay.
discussion?
The topic, I just let them to let me know what is the role of what is the role of themselves in this protected area uh, in terms of health literacy.
So that means in the first picture, when they are pasting some of the papers on a board, this activity is like for them to explain what is their role in the activity.
Yes,
All right.
correct.
How many hours or how many days did it take for you to finalize this methodology? I mean, this group activities. How many hours was that?
It took only 1 hour for the net tool and focus group discussion. So basically 2 hours.
All right.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit still not very clear regarding your research methodology, but all right. I'm 100% sure that you have enough information in your paper, but what I'm saying is only based on presentation, which I couldn't get it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, and good luck for your future studies, my dear.
Thank you.
So, if we can proceed with our next. Hello,
Can you see my screen?
I can see you, and I can see your presentation slides. If you have any international
Can?
co-author or co-presenter, please introduce. And we are here, so anytime we are ready, your 10 minutes will start.
Okay.
Good luck with your
Hello, everyone.
presentation.
Sorry.
With your presentation, my dear.
Okay. Today I will present our recent study on classroom climate shapes student behavior, a mediated moderation approach to bullying. My name is Ma Xiao, and this study aims to explore how teachers' responses to bullying interact with classroom climate and student behavior, particularly focusing on grade level differences. Let me start with the background of this research. Bullying is a global issue affecting millions of students' well-being and academic performance. According to UNESCO, nearly 1 in 3 students experience bullying monthly. However, existing research often overlooks classroom environment dynamics and developmental differences among students. So our study bridges these gaps by adopting an environmental behavioral perspective, focusing on teachers' intervention strategies, classroom climate, and how these factors vary across different grades. We set 3 key objectives. First, to examine the direct impact of teacher responses to bullying, TRB, on student bullying behavior, SBB. Second, to test whether classroom climate mediates this relationship between TRB and SBB. Third, to explore whether grade level moderates the effectiveness of teacher interventions. Now let's look at our conceptual framework. As you can see, the teacher's responses as the independent variable not only directly affect bullying, but also indirectly affect student behavior through the classroom climate. Meanwhile, grade level as a moderating variable influences the relationship between teachers' responses and bullying behavior. By clarifying the mechanisms behind bullying prevention, we can help educators create safer, healthier learning environments. Our study is guided by social ecological theory, which views bullying as a product of interactions between individuals and their environment. This slide presents a social ecological framework of bullying dynamics, showing the different levels of influences on bullying behavior. In order from microsystems to macrosystems. They are grade level, teacher responses, classroom climate, and Chinese culture. In this study, we conducted a cross-sectional survey involving 510 students from grades 4 to 6 in 4 public primary schools in Xingtai City, China. Data was collected using validated questionnaires, teacher responses to bullying questionnaire, authoritative classroom climate questionnaire, and WoS bully victim questionnaire. We used the PLS, SEM, and hierarchical regression analysis to test our hypotheses. The key findings of this study include 3 components: direct effects, mediation effect, and the moderation effect. To begin with, let's take a look at the model picture we used in our analysis. We employed structural equation modeling, specifically using the SmartPS to examine the relationships between our 3 variables. As shown in the table, we analyze these 3 main passes. First, teacher intervention, TRB, directly reduces bullying behavior with a significant negative effect. Second, classroom climate also significantly lowers AcE-Bs. And third, TRB positively influences CC, indicating teacher intervention and the classroom climate both independently decrease bullying, while intervention strengthens the climate meanwhile. Collectively, these results highlight the critical role of teacher actions and the supportive environment in preventing bullying. Second, regarding the mediation effect, our findings show that classroom climate fully mediates the relationship between teacher responses and the bullying behavior. The indirect effect through CC indicates that supportive environments amplify teachers' influence. This suggests that interventions focusing only on disciplinary actions may be less effective than holistic approaches addressing classroom norms. Third, the table shows the result of moderate analysis. Models 1 to 3 include TRB, grade, and their interaction term. The coefficients highlight TRB's positive impact on AcE-Bs, particularly for younger grades, as indicated by the significant interaction effect. Next, the chart shows this trend. The slope of TRB's influence on AcE-Bs is steeper for 4th grade compared to 5th and 6th grades. This suggests that teacher interventions are more effective in shaping behavioral beliefs among younger students. This highlights the need for age-specific strategies. While early interventions works best for younger children, and older students may require peer-led programs in addition to teachers' support. Our research focused on 3 key areas, and first, we found that teacher intervention directly lowers bullying. When teachers respond promptly and consistently, incidents decrease significantly. This highlights teachers' critical role. Swift action sends a clear message that bullying won't be tolerated, creating a safer environment. Second, a positive classroom climate enhances intervention effectiveness, and so students are less likely to bully when they feel supported and respected. This means that punishment alone may not be enough. Instead, by encouraging friendly behavior and positive interactions, teachers can be more effective in preventing bullying. Third, teacher strategies should vary by grade level. Younger students respond best to teacher-led approaches, while older students benefit more from peer involvement. In conclusion, this study innovatively combines a mediated moderation model. It reveals that classroom climate is a powerful mediator between teachers' actions and student behavior. By understanding and strengthening this dynamic, we can empower educators to create safer, more inclusive schools. In this slide, I will discuss the limitation of our research and some directions for future work. First, our data relies on self-reports, which we may be biased. Participants could have given socially accessible answers rather than their true experiences. Second, our sample lacked diversity, limiting the study's generalizability, and future work needs broader representation. And third, the cross-sectional design makes it hard to establish causality, which requires future longitudinal studies. But overall, this study offers actionable insights for policymakers, teachers, and parents. Together, we can shape classrooms where every student feel valued and protected. That's all. Thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Ma, I enjoyed your presentation very much. It's a very solid research. And I have a question for your study. In your study, it's about school anti-bullying policies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, what are the practical implications of your study for, school anti-bullying these policies?
Okay. Thank you for your question. I think our findings of this study provide several important insights for developing more effective school anti-bullying policies. The first two is about the differences between the grade level, such as our results show that teacher interventions play a critical role in reducing bullying and specifically in for younger students. So I think schools should therefore implement policies that emphasize teacher authority, structured disciplinary measures, and active supervision in lower grade.
Any problems, Dr. Sharona?
Oh, my VPN was disconnected. I got connected again.
Right.
So, Dr. Ma, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
So you said that part of your questionnaire was for the students' behavior. I mean, that means you did deal with the students directly, right? With how old were they? Because you know that we have.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello. So, can you refer how old were the students and how did you manage to make it like reliable to get feedback from them?
I the students in grades 4 to 6, the age of them are around 9 to 12. And when I collect the data from their from them, I arranged I arranged a teacher and to explain the questionnaires key points, and they are at the IT rooms to use online online equipped to finish the questionnaire.
Do you think that a student age 12, they are reliable to get their feedback? I mean, do you have any citation to support that student? I mean, children 9 to 12 are reliable to get feedbacks from them,
Because
but not
before,
it can be like questionnaire survey.
yes, because you mean any literature to support this age?
So the thing is that you did some questionnaire survey from the children that they were 9 to 12 years old. So
Yeah.
we do have citation that they say this kind of research methodology is not very reliable when you ask through questionnaires from the children.
Oh,
Yeah, you
because
cannot
before,
rely on the feedback by questionnaire if it's not like be it illustration and all. So have you ever discussed with your co-presenter or with your supervisor, or I'm not sure which state you have done this research, but was that reliable? Do you have any citation to support you could ask questionnaire, I mean, by questionnaire for, I mean, children this age? Is it reliable? Their feedback?
yes, because before my data collection, I invite 5 experts to adapt the questionnaire to change some statement more suitable for this age. And before the formal data collection, I did a pilot study. Because this data collection is a part of my PhD thesis project. So I think it can be uh, can ensure the reliable of their feedback.
All right, maybe it's because I didn't see the questions. So,
Oh,
of course, it's in your paper, but it was nice if you could put some more information in your slide.
okay.
Okay, otherwise, I don't have any question. Thank you. The
Thank
presentation
you.
was very smooth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So can we have our next presenter, please?
Morning, doctor.
Morning.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. Wait a minute.
All right.
Okay.
So in this time, if you have any international co-presenter or co-author, please do introduce.
Okay, can you hear me, Professor?
Yes, I can hear you, my dear. And if you are ready, your 10 minutes to start from now.
Okay, sure, of course. Good morning, distinguished chairperson and dear fellows. My name is Wang Shuai. You can call me Sherry. The co-author in my study also include Dr. Nathan, Xing Li, Xiao Ma, and Yinan Xuan and Li Na. And my study is about the impact of multiple feedbacks on revision of Chinese EFL undergraduates' argumentative essay. Now let's get started with the introduction part. and your comments and suggestions will be highly valued and sincerely welcomed. The first one is about background. So feedback plays an essential role in developing students' writing proficiency. It is necessary to understand how students utilize feedback during the revision and provide effective feedback on students' writing and improve their writing proficiency. After consulting the literatures, I found two research gaps, and these two research problems are namely, number one, the impact of feedback on subsequent text revisions remains unclear, and gap two, inadequate research linking AWE and human feedback in one single writing task and revision in mainland China. And based on these two research problems, I raised two research questions. Number one, what are the similarities and differences of AWE, peer, and teacher feedback on the English argumentative essays of Chinese EFL undergraduates? Number two, what are the effects of the three different forms of feedback on the revision of Chinese undergraduate English argumentative essays? And moving on is the literature review sections. In this part, it mainly includes one series and some related research. The theory is a ZPD theory proposed by Vygotsky. And in this part, feedback research are mainly included. Also, it covers the impact of feedback on text revisions, the teacher feedback, and peer feedback, and also AWE. Next is the introduction of the methodology. This study is an explanatory sequential mixed method design with quantitative study in the first and qualitative study in the second. The participants in this study include a total of 127 participants, 102 male students and 25 female students. And the instruments in this study include a questionnaire and interviews. And as for the data collection part, the original argumentative essays, the three types of feedback, the revised drafts based on different types of feedback, and the scores of each draft provided the data source needed. And SPSS and content analysis method were used to analyze the data collected. Now let's take a look at the findings in my studies. As for the quantitative results, the mean values of AWE ranged from 3.94 to 5.56, and the 5 items with the highest mean values involved grammar, vocabulary, recognition of feedback, absorption, and formal language use. And the mean values of all the items were found around 4, and the mean values of peer feedback range from 4.63 to 4.2. And among them, the 5 items with the highest mean values involved recognition of feedback. And as shown in these two tables, these three types of feedbacks have all increased the writing proficiencies and writing performance of the Chinese EFL undergraduates' argumentative writing performance. Now let's take a look at the qualitative findings. First one is about the similarities and differences among the three types of feedback. And the qualitative findings indicated that the participants believe that all three types of feedback help improve their writing proficiencies. And the differences among the three types of feedback are concentrated in several aspects, such as focus, seriousness, meticulousness, feedback speed, interaction degree, and effect. And as for the effects of different types of feedback on the revision of argumentative writing, this table has summarized students' views on the effects. They all believe that the three types of feedbacks are helpful, and AWE is slightly helpful, while the other two are greatly helpful for the revision of their studies. At the same time, they respectively stated that they like teacher feedback most, and then peer feedback, and AWE the last. And in addition to the advantages participants have mentioned, some representatives also stated that teachers teacher feedback can tell what they should do, and these are most helpful and could not be supplemented by the other types of feedback. So based on these findings, and here are the discussions of this study, the results are in line with Victor Zhang and Wang in the previous studies. And also, they found that positive attitude held by EFL learners brought constructive effects in using feedback. Therefore, these three types of feedback each have their own advantages and disadvantages. Participants both consider AWE feedback as an editing tool used to identify some minor mistakes, while teacher feedback is significantly more helpful in revising and is more accepted by the participants than peer review of or AWE due to being specific, in place, meticulous, and pertinent. As for the conclusion of this study, the study has found that different types of feedback all play the proper roles in writing constructions and instruction, and a well-planned implementation process is definitely necessary. As for the contributions of the studies, in terms of instructors, this study helps them save time and energy in responding to student writing due to large class sizes. And as for learners, the study helps them better understand different types of feedbacks and substantially improve their writing performance. In terms of course levels, the study incorporates the needs into course designs and feedback practice, thereby enhancing teaching practice. And that is all for my presentation today. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, my dear. Any question from friends online?
Hello,
Hello.
Dr. Wang.
Hello.
I have
Hello.
a question about so I want you to introduce PGI and why choose this AWE.
Well,
Thank you.
okay, well, that's a really good question. Thank you so much. Actually, PGI is an AWE2 in China. And nowadays, it is a well-developed evaluating writing system. AWE can provide students with feedback on the aspects of spelling, punctuation, grammar, sentence structures, and coherences. And the AWE system I chose in my study, in this present study, is pguide.com, as you just asked. So this is an AWE system in China. And it is a commercial AWE program, mainly with web-based service, designed as a classroom instructional tool for EFL learners. And these EFL learners range from middle school students to college students like my students in China. So according to some previous studies, especially some studies have conducted by some famous scholars in this area, they have concluded that the unprecedented application of pguide.com, this website, to this domain of EFL teaching writing has already helped around nearly 20 million students from 6,000 schools in China since the year 2010, almost 2 decades since 2010. And this means pguide.com has provided corrective services of AWE feedback for more than 400 million writing drafts produced by these students. It's a large number, and the reason why I take this research is because research on this Chinese domestic AWE system is still in its infancy. Not many studies using this AWE, especially abroad, is quite limited. So I chose this AWE system, and also like other AWE systems, this system, I mean pguide.com, it is composed of a scoring engine that gives holistic and also analytic scores, ranging from 1 to 100. And this feedback engine provides general comments in terms of vocabulary, sentence collocation, structure, and organization. So it can generate both detailed diagnostic sentence level error feedback on various dimensions. That's a very amazing things. And such as grammar, wording, or mechanics, and comments. And this can indicate students' strengths and weakness, which means students can learn from this feedback provided by this AWE, pguide.com. When the students submit an essay to pguide.com, this AWE, the students, he or she, can obtain the scores in time and feedback in no more than 1 minute, which make it very convenient for the students to revise, especially when coming to the multiple drafts. Based on this, the diagnostic feedback generated by pguide.com save them time and strength, not only for teachers, but also for students. And in China, nowadays, AWE systems have been developed that are especially designed for these Chinese EFL students. Nowadays, the AI technology has developed really fast, and pguide.com could be taken as a pioneer too of this AI technology in dealing with students' writing performances. So, in summary, pguide can generate a holistic score for an essay by calculating its quantitative differences from text in its corpus, just as I mentioned just now, informations, vocabulary, sentence structure, and organizations, and some content relevance. So it does not only just offer corrective feedback, it also provides holistic scoring and ranking, the highest one and the lowest scores, and end comments. So accordingly, students can revise their draft for further improvement based on this information. And the feedback system could re-evaluate the draft after submissions. So this process is really interactive. So these are the basic introduction of pguide.com. I hope that my answer could make you feel less puzzled about this system.
Okay, thank you. Your explanation is very detailed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So any more questions? Because I heard someone else was asking too. All right. So, my dear, very good presentation.
Yes,
I just wanted to check with you something which was not in your presentation, and we didn't ask you to do that, but I needed to know. Can you make it very clear, I mean, very short and brief explanation regarding your problem identification? What was the problem identification that led you to this research?
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Really, thank you so much for your questions. You see, the background nowadays is that feedback research has been long existed in dealing with EFL writing research. So essentially, it is a key role in developing students' writing proficiency. Therefore, it is necessary to understand how students utilize these feedbacks, especially when they are dealing with the revision, and how to provide effective feedback for students as far as their writing concerned, and help them to improve. And after consulting many literatures, I found that there is still lack of research linking AWE, peer feedback, and teacher feedback, these 3 types of feedback together to analyze one single writing task and revision, especially in mainland China. And secondly, I also found one research gap is that the impact of feedback on subsequent text revisions still remains unclear, especially after different types of feedback. So a combination of 3 different types of feedback is kind of novice in the present study areas nowadays. So this is one reason I found that this is a problem statement, and we do need to tackle this issue. That is all for my answer. I hope. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Good luck with your future studies, my dear.
Thank you so much, Professor.
You're welcome. So can we proceed with our next presenter, please?
Hello, Professor. Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear, I can hear you very well.
Can you see
So,
my slide?
I can see your slide as well, and I have your slides with me. My dear, your 10 minutes start from now.
Okay,
Good
thank you
luck.
so much. Dear
Oh,
Professor,
by
my
the
name.
way, in case that you have any international co-author or co-presenter, please introduce them as well.
Okay, thank you, Professor. My name is Wang Qian. My paper title is the Design and Application of Bob's Teaching Model based on CBVE for Higher Vocational Education Curriculum for Infant and Childcare in China. CBVE refers to the theory of competence-based vocational education. BOBS refers to the teaching model, original development by Canadian teachers when they set up training workshops, which consist of 6 competencies: bridging, objective, pre-assessment, participatory learning, post-assessment, and summary. First one is introduction. It has been shown that Hammeri's physical and psychological development of infants and young children requires high-quality infant and childcare service. For higher vocational education students, CBVE area points the way the infant and childcare curriculum. However, the ICCC needs a more pedagogically efficient teaching model. However, there are problems of inefficiency participation, inadequate practical skills, and no timely feedback in the current students' learning of ICCC. Teachers teaching ICCC have problems such as using traditional teaching model, multidisciplinary background requirements, and having a teaching load. Therefore, to address this issue, this study reconstructs the ICCC based on CBVE area and innovatively integrated the Bob's teaching model to carry out the design and teaching of ICCC. This is my RO and RQ. In responsible to the first one is RO1 to development and industrial design based on the Bob's teaching model under the theory of CBVE for teaching the infant and childcare curriculum. RO1 based on expert opinion, how can we better develop an industrial design and in fact childcare curriculum based on the CBV occupational competence theory and the Bob's teaching model? RO2 is to compare the difference between the group which explore to Bob's teaching model based on the CBV theory and the group explores the traditional teaching model in terms of mean scores on student performance and learning engagement. Is there RQ2 is there any significant difference in the mean score of student performance, learning engagement between the group in process of CBV theory on Bob's and teaching traditional teaching model? RO3 is to explore the challenges and strategies teachers face in design and implementing an infant and childcare curriculum based on Bob's model of teaching and learning guided by CBV theory. RQ3 is what challenges did teachers encounter and what strategies did they apply in designing and implementing ICCC based on Bob's model under the CBV theory. This is conceptual framework. As you can see, CBV, Bob's and TTM is independent variable. SAA and the UWES and learning engagement is dependent variable. This is responsible to the research questions. Research hypothesis 1.1 to 1.4 and 2.1 to 2.4 for student performance and engagement in learning scale was set up. This is my literature review. In order to understand the research process of the variable in framework of the study, the ICCC, CBVE, Bob's teaching model, instructional design, and teaching reform were thought out separately, and the research design of this study were determined based on the research gap. This is my research design. The research methodology utilizes the type 2 of design and development research, DDR, combined with ADDIE teaching model to conduct an experimentally synchronous mixed method investigation. First, the analyzed phase utilizes a semantical literature review and expert interview to identify the core CBV model at ICCC. The design phase form a DACUM team to identify the industrial scores, methods, and tools needed for the industry design of ICCC. The development phase was conducted by 3 experts to test the content, language, and vocational competence for the ICCC's industrial desire for expert content validity. The implementation phase conduct a quasi-experimental study of students' performance and learning engagement in 2 groups. The evaluation phase analyzed data on academic achievement and engagement in learning scores and interview teachers about challenge and strategies in design and implementation of CPVE-BOBs. Next are my research finding. Firstly, RQ1. RQ1 obtains the professional competence that should be necessary for infant and child caregivers through SLR, including basic knowledge, daily healthy life care, early development, and safety care. Then the recommendations on the design and the implementation of CPVE-BOBs were made through expert interviews. 9 topics was including basic medical education, and so on. This was then combined with the DACUM discussion, ultimately leaving the integration of basic knowledge into other 4 modules. Next, an instructional design and related materials on CPVE-BOBs were designed. Further, the development stage were calculated through the percentage calculate method formula to obtain the content quality result greater than 18 and reliability result greater than 0.7 or more, respectively. The fine dimension of CPVE and the final CPVE-BOBs introduction design were then combined with expert opinion. The experimentation phase were conducted over 3 months, period in conjunction with the design and development in structural design. Next is RQ2. A comprehensive of academic performance on RQ2 reveals that there was no difference between the CPVE-BOBs and the TT group on the pre-test. And although both group improved significantly on the post-test, the CPVE-BOBs on the post-test were significantly higher than the TTM. Further, the comprehensive of learning engagement score for RQ2.2. RQ2 reveals that there is no significant difference between the CPVE-BOBs and the TTM group in the pre-test validity, dedication, and absorption. But the post-test CPVE-BOBs is significantly higher than TTM. However, there is no significant difference between the post-test and pre-test of absorption for CPVE. There is no significant difference for all 3 dimensions for TTM. Last, RQ3. It was founded through teacher interviews that there challenges such as single method of teaching and strategy such as multi-central teaching philosophy in desire and implementation at CCC. Finally, the critical board of data is demonstrated after triangulating the result findings. After that, the result each of 3 research questions are discussed in 3 ways. One is identification of CPVE model for nurse. Second is CPVE-BOBs is more helpful than TTM improving student academic performance. Third is CPVE-BOBs is more helpful than TTM increasing student learning engagement, but care should be taken maintain the level of attractiveness. In light of above discussion, further research could focus on the following area for further study, including follow-up for long-term impact assessment, expanding the sample of student study, explore the optimism path for other teaching theory and teaching model, promoting training and development CPVE-BOBs integration, application of innovative educational technology in ICCC, application of innovative education technology in ICCC. They are all my presentations. Thank you for your listening. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Any question from audiences or online friends? All right. So, my dear, can you go to your second page, please?
Second page.
Yeah.
Can you see my slide, Professor?
Repeat your title. Just give me a second. The design and application of
Yeah.
BOPP as teaching module-based CBVE for higher vocational curriculum for infant and child care
Yeah.
in China, right? Okay.
Yes.
So in your second page, can you go to next slide? Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, when you put your, let's say, I guess it's gonna be like your survey factors, right?
Yes.
So I didn't understand, why did you put your survey factors in your introduction page, first of all? Why did you
Because
put it
I
in
want.
your introduction? It could be in your research methodology, right?
Yeah. You
Did you
mean
have
why I
any
put the.
specific reason that you put it in your introduction?
Oh yes, for introduction, I want to I find the low grades in China and many market should needed to high quality infect and check caregivers. So this page, I want to show you about. You can see it's Chinese, but here, this one, 16.7% is for many many infect and child care decrease for teachers, especially infect and child care service skills teachers.
Mm-hmm. So I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that for me as an audience who is seeing your slide, so when you put it in your introduction, so maybe even the title of the figure could be better, saying that information regarding,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, whatever, but when you write down survey of factors contributing to the satisfaction, and you put it in this way, and it's all Chinese, maybe you could translate it in English, or you
Oh
could
yeah.
just simply write in a sentence way,
Yes.
as your
Okay.
presentation would help you more, my dear.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Professor. Yeah, because it's from a source of a survey in China.
Yeah, but maybe you could make it like, I mean, one in Chinese, one in English,
Yes.
because for me it was like very I couldn't read, and I'm sure other friends that they are not Chinese, they couldn't read too. It's a very difficult language.
Thank you for your advice. I will translate into English.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but the thing is that when you put it in the introduction, it's like quite confusing. Maybe you could just write it in terms of sentence
Yeah.
type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So can we proceed with our next presentation, please? Hello, my dear.
Hello, can you see my slides?
I can see your slide very clearly.
Okay.
So, my dear, good luck. If you have any international co-presenter or co-writer, please introduce. And if you are ready, your 10 minutes start from now. Good luck.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Well, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Eid Mubarak for all Muslim friends here. I am Surveyor Nur Faiza Mustafa from the Infrastructure University Kuala Lumpur, UKL, Malaysia. I'm the PhD candidate for the Environment programs from the National University Malaysia. And here, the other co-author in this paper is Professor Dr. Kohan. And today I'll be presenting my research paper entitled Lessons Learned in Strengthening Fire Safety of Tuition Center for a Resilient Learning Environment. All right. Basically, this presentation consists of all of the introduction, aims, and objectives, methodology, literature reviews, findings, and discussion, and lastly, the conclusion and recommendation. Right, let's start with the introduction. As we all know, fire safety is one of the critical aspects of all building design and management, to which for tuition center, it is directly impacting the well-being of students, staff, who's going to be the teachers, and of course, the overall community. It is so sad that heartbreaking when we heard about fire happens at the educational spaces like school, nursery, child enrichment center, learning center, coaching center, which include of tuition center, and it is also known as a private supplementary education. So from here, you can see that the evolving educational spaces will support diverse learning approach that enhance engagement and academic outcomes and student performance at the same time. And it is very connected with the SDG 4 under education quality, in line with the UNESCO principle approach to implement policies, enforce laws, allocate resources, and learning evaluation, whereby the evolution can be seen in the over the 3 decades, which is stated over here, from the global mapping, ecosystem, and conceptualization for the future of the education. Where here you can see that fire statistic has reported persistently on the high numbers of structural fire cases in Malaysia from 2019 until 2023, whereby the analysis of fire incidents highlighted that shop premises are the second most affected category, following residential properties, since the location of conducting the tuition center is located at the shop houses, shop offices, and also other commercial premises. This building category is significantly very risky. Okay, so moving on to the aims and objective, highlighted to investigate the lesson learned from fire incident in educational buildings, particularly tuition center. And number 2, to identify the fire safety compliance requirement gaps for shop office-based institution as tuition center building. And the aims of the study is to strengthening fire safety of tuition center for a resilient learning environment. So moving on to the methodology, so the research used qualitative methods by reviewing reported news locally and internationally about fire incident and illegal tuition center operation with the relevant standards and regulation, including the Uniform Building Bylaw, Education Act, National Education Policies, and also Fire Services Act 1988. And in order to conduct the study, purposive sampling was used to select knowledgeable respondents, particularly 4 officers from the Fire and Rescue Department Malaysia, FRDM, and also 3 professional architects to conduct the semi-structured interview. Okay, the study focused on reviewing the fire incident with the grounded fire safety framework from the previous study which has been done. Okay, and then these are the literature reviews highlighting the regulatory requirements for tuition center building, highlighting the 7 standards related to maintenance, lightings, and ventilation, premise space, classroom requirement, basic amenities of the premise, renovation works, health and safety, and also premise usage. So based on this, allow me to take one of the example on the classroom requirement that should be provided, which we need to justify the occupancy loads of the classroom so that it won't be too crowded for the classroom to be accommodated during the learning process implemented at the tuition center. And it is very useful to ensure that they are safely evacuated during emergencies. And there are guidelines established to make sure that they come up with a proper facilities provided in order to ensure that the tuition center are very free from any kind of fire hazards, not located close to any gambling area, entertainment spaces as well, and also other recreational or markets. And it is not close to the workshops and noisy areas, river, and also old building. and other potential similar institution offering the similar courses. Okay, on top of that, this is the findings that is required to be discussed in the discussion room, whereby assisting the news reported on fire incident and illegal tuition centers, the tangible evidence was documented regarding fire that broke at children tuition center in Johor. Okay, whereby it happens during night time. The incident prompted the evacuation of customers and employees from a nearby supermarket. Unfortunately, it doesn't critically give impact to the tuition center, but the causes of fire is the root cause of fire happens from the tuition center, and it's very lucky that the tuition center is already closed at 6 p.m. Okay, but the due to electrical oversupply and also short circuit happens to the tuition center, fire spread out to the adjacent shop houses. Another documented cases at the Sarawak here. Okay, it is stated that the location of the tuition center is above the pharmacy area, and then it caused 30% damage to the interior of the tuition center rooms, okay, due to short circuit. And another reported cases happens at Petaling Jaya, Kuala Lumpur, okay, which involve explosion at a motorcycle shop on the ground floor area, in which the tuition center is above mentioned level. As a result, the children were forced to evacuate quickly by using interior staircase. But why, in this particular case, they are not using the exterior emergency staircase provided at the back. Okay, and then another case reported by Johor, okay, in order to look on the immediate response to stop any illegal operation. Okay, and then another case related to other illegal potential fire traps and also other international cases here, which happens to India. Okay, which it's going to be a very disaster happens to the tuition center, okay, whereby they are using flammable material, okay, which it is simplified into this table, which justify the overall causes, okay, which in which this kind of incident, fire incident happens looking on the main features of using the similar potential flammable material, okay, in their potential classroom, in which we need to justify, okay, in terms of their evacuation process, their travel distance, so that they might get a proper escape during emergency. And these are the integrated framework that justify the what we call a thematic analysis, which is based on this integrated framework from fire protection features, regulation and enforcement, technology, and firefighting resources and common civic sense, in which from the discussion that has been made by the Fire and Rescue Department Malaysia officer and also professional architects, they agree that in the context of fire protection features, they may be lacking of addressing the safety challenges, okay, and then they have a very less compliance on the fire safety standards, which it is recommended to ensure that they follow the renovation guidelines for ensuring that they adhere all the legal requirements, and on the common and civic sense, especially on the staff, which is the teachers, the students, also should be well aware on how to evacuate during emergency. And they should be provided with a proper fire drill so that they are ready for any kind of emergency in the future. Okay, and then in terms of technology and firefighting resources, they should be able to ensure safe evacuation and also providing all sort of technology for the fire protective equipment provided in the building itself so that they manage to enhance all sorts of measures to overcome any fire accidents in the building. So based on the this study, so we can see that it is highlighting the non-compliance gap, okay, which is when we change the use of premise, we need to make sure that we upgrade the fire safety consideration, okay, in line with the fire and rescue department requirements in terms of Fire Services Act requirement and regulation. And we also need to look on the overuse of electrical appliances to overcome any short circuit. And then we need to look on the use of flammable material not to be in place so that we manage to reduce as much as possible on the use of flammable material, especially for the interior of the classroom, and then to ensure that the occupants, okay, which is the students, the teaching staff, and also the local community itself also well aware and also have the good mentality and behavior to react during the emergency, especially during fire. All right, so in conclusion, lessons learned from fire incidents and issues related to illegal operation is very crucial, and they require a very strict compliance, especially for the tuition center that operates in the local community, so that we manage to provide a resilient learning environment that is fear-free education space provided to ensure that all of our students, the teachers are living in a very safe learning environment. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Any question from friends and audiences? All right, so my dear, happy Eid to you too.
Yes, Prof.
I said that happy Eid al-Fitr to you too.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
All right, so can we go to your slide number 2, please?
Number 2, all right.
Yeah, this is number 1, this is number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your introduction, whatever we can see, it's mostly regarding design.
Right.
You didn't, through the introduction, we didn't have any brief regarding the fire restrictions in classrooms and all, right?
All right. So looking at this particular stage, yes, I admit that in this particular slides, I haven't allocated the main concern about fire safety. Okay, but when we look
Yeah.
into the problem statement, it is largely depending on the context of the classroom environment, okay, and also the tuition center institution, which they look on the profit profit business only. They are not only focusing, they are actually not focusing on the fire safety requirement. So it's very crucial for this tuition
I
center.
understand.
So that's why we need to make sure that they apply and adhere all the legal requirements so that we can minimize all sorts of accidents in terms of fire. Okay, so
Definitely,
basically,
my dear, when you explain orally, it's fine. But if because I received your slides, I guess last week, and then when I was going through your slide, I was like confused. Your introduction, it's all about classroom design and environment. It's basically architectural design, and after one slide, we jump into fire safety. It's like, I mean, you could coming up with all your nice sentences that you just said, that it's very cruel to students. So you're just like coming up with 2 sentences in your introduction that could give a very good impact on the audiences. And then this references of 2006 and 2003, please avoid using them. Try to update your references.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. And I like your graphic and your presentation. I mean, graphic of your slide and the way that you present.
All right.
And the last thing that I wanted to discuss with you is your finding. My dear, we all know that all the governments should put some rules and regulation for fire safeties and all. What make your contribution different than others that we keep talking about that they have to put rules and regulation for fire safety everywhere. It can be like, I mean, for residential area, for offices, building and all. And what makes your paper and your research different?
All right. So usually before this, we have seen a lot of concentration and consideration has been made for formal schooling, okay, like formal education. So very less awareness and also consideration has been made through informal or private supplementary education. So I would like to highlight this since that tuition center is act as informal education methods, and the location of the tuition center usually put in place at the shop houses and shop offices. So all of these students and teachers need to understand on the evacuation process to ensure that they really understand the design layout to evacuate during emergency. Okay, because before this, we only look on the fire drill that has been done at the school, but not at the tuition center or even at the learning or coaching center. So this is another contribution for the community to well aware on the informal education system, okay, especially when it involves to the commercial premises.
All right. And then do you have any, like, I mean, citation to support that there has been so far no fire and rescue um, training for the students in Malaysia? Do you have any, like, I mean, citation to support your statement that the government didn't plan for it and the students haven't learned how to evacuate during the fire? Because
Okay,
I guess it's compulsory and most of the students have been trained.
okay, so far for practicing the tuition center operation, like when I conduct the interview session with the Fire and Rescue Department Malaysia, the officers itself, he said that they normally allocate the fire drill only for school, okay, but they encourage all the tuition centers to do it. Okay, but they only do all sort of like they provide only campaign, but they don't actually implement it at the direct tuition center at the commercial premise. Okay, so in fact, I just got the information through interview session. Okay, in the feedback interview, which the officers recommend that all the teachers, the students, to to train themselves, okay, and to collaborate with bomber or fire and rescue department at each district and states, so that they manage to get the information, they know how to deal during the emergencies. So that is part of the recommendations in terms of collaborative relationship between tuition center and also the bomber itself.
Mhm. All right, so my dear, I accept from you, but what my suggestion and my recommendation to you is that when you put any kind of information, something that can make a country a little bit like sensitive, you should coming up and support your statement by a reference.
All right.
As my point of view, I'm 100% sure that Malaysian government, they put this kind of like activities. I have observed sometimes that they have done it in Malaysia, doing some training for fire evacuations and all. But your opinion is that they haven't learned. It's only for schools, not all kinds of institution sectors. So my suggestion to you is that when a title is subjective and it's very sensitive, so you do come up. You just said that you have done interview and you did information from the Bomba department. So it was very helpful if you could put the title. I mean, saying that. I mean, some references to support your statement could help.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as part of my improvement that I can see in the future so that I can get a more reliable and better validation on the information that I received later on. Thank you very much, Prof.
So much. You're welcome. All your references are updated. Only like, I mean, for the introduction page, I guess 2 of your references should be revised. So good
All right.
luck for your future studies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum.
Salam alaikum. So can we have our next presenter, please?
Yeah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon here, and salam Lebaran and Aidilfitri from Malaysia. I'm Hidayah on behalf of my team, Professor Samir Razali, Madam Fatimah Sham, Dr. So Jong En, Dr. Salih Rahadi Asif from Indonesia, and Dr. Iman Muhammad Ali. I'm presenting our research paper with title From Home to Campus: How Family Dynamics Influence Anxiety in Malaysian University Students.
Yes, Dr. Sharona is on hold. You just can carry on.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Prof. The global prevalence of anxiety among university students identified that there are 32% of the students having anxiety with different levels of anxiety. And as we know, there are multiple factors contribute to the anxiety, and most of the factors are academic stress, social stress, and also low financial income. And actually, the family dynamics play a role in the students' emotional level. However, the studies on these aspects are very limited. So what is family dynamics? Family dynamics are the pattern of connection, roles and interaction between the family members and relatives that mold the relationship. Hence, because of the limited studies on these family dynamic factors, for this research, we aim to investigate the association between family dynamics and anxiety among the Malaysian university students. And we have 2 specific objectives, which are to determine the prevalence of anxiety level among the university students in Malaysia and to evaluate the relationship between the various family dynamic factors and anxiety levels. Previous study highlighted there are multiple factors contribute to the anxiety among university students, which can be categorized into family factors and non-family factors. For the family factors, the academic pressure, the peer relationship, the poor financial status, the transition between adolescent into young adult, causing higher risk of anxiety among the students. And for the family factors, the factors that studied before are the low family income, poor social support, and lack of communication between the family members. So in this study, we highlighted a few other factors that were not studied before, in which are family communication, emotional support, family conflict, family relationship quality, financial status, and changes in family routine. We conducted a cross-sectional online survey involved 853 Malaysian university and college students, which are 18 years old and above. We distributed a Google Form questionnaire via emails, WhatsApp, and social media. And we distribute a social demographic family background questionnaire and the state trait anxiety inventory form to evaluate the level of anxiety among the student. And we conducted ANOVA and multivariate linear regression for the analysis. These are the findings. From 883 university students, we identified 59% of them had high level of anxiety, 25% had moderate anxiety, and 17% had no to low anxiety. There are 5 significant family dynamics factors that are associated with the anxiety, which are family conflicts, poor communication between the family members, higher need emotional support from the students, low income of the family, and no changes of family routine. So all these factors are significant during our analysis. After doing the regression analysis, we identified 6 significant predictors factors of the anxiety. So on the right side, we can see that family conflict, lack of confidence, poor family income, higher emotional support, higher need of emotional support, and students who did not conform to the male or female gender had higher risk of developing anxiety. While on the left side, we can see that the presence of changes in family routine in the students of the university student lowered the risk of getting anxiety among them. So we can conclude that these 6 factors is the most significant predictors for the anxiety, in which the right side has the have the negative impact, while on the left side have the positive impact. So our findings were supported by multiple studies before, in which for the first one, family routine stability can provide structure and emotional security. For the university student who already have the routine or very structured family activities and routine at home, they can replicate this arrangement, this routine in their university life. So this routine, this structured routine can help them to improve their emotional level and reduce the anxiety among themselves. While family conflict was found before that it is a major risk factor for student anxiety. And the financial stress, which is very important nowadays, can affect the academic success and social life. And we always see that our student, our college and university student as an adult, but they are actually just transformed from adolescent into young adult. So in that case, they need very much emotional support and confidence in ventilate their emotion, their issues and problem at the school or their university. So these 2 factors are very crucial and essential in managing stress and providing mental health well-being. So from our study, we have few key takeaways, message, and also recommendation for the universities in Malaysia. So family factors significantly influence the student anxiety, and addressing the family conflicts, providing financial aid, and fostering family emotional support can mitigate anxiety among the university student. There are recommendations that we would like to suggest for the university, where the university should implement the family-based mental health programs. Counseling services should consider family dynamics in intervention if indicated. And the policy in university should be enhanced for the student, especially in terms of financial support, and further research needed for the on the intervention targeting family-related anxiety factors should be considered to be conducted in the university. So that will be my last slide, and I would like to thank our funder of the research and also all the students who participated in this study.
Thank you, my dear. Any question or feedback from audience, please? All right, so Miss Noor Hidayah,
Yes.
very good topic. It's very, very essential to look into student anxiety because a student anxiety can have a very bad effect on their learning process. So very good topic that you picked and very well done. The only thing that I wanted to ask you to explain a little bit more into detail is that how could you deliver 850 questionnaires? So you said that it was based on WhatsApp groups and Google. So it just like, how did you come up to this number, 853 students? And then is it like, I mean, did you do this kind of like, I mean, survey from all kind of students from, let's say, urban area, or they were from kampung? It's just like, I mean, how did you pick this kind of students? And then really 853?
Oh, okay. So we distributed the questionnaire via Google Form, and during this period, okay, we were promoting this study to all the universities and college in Malaysia, including including the public and private universities. So, and it's I would say it's not easy, and also it's not difficult, because we share the link, and also we share the promotion or the advertisement of the study, okay, through the lecturers, and also through the friends of lecturers from other university also. We also emails the promotion of research through the emails of the university and also other lecturers. So from this dissemination, we can capture the surveys from the 883 Malaysian University College students. So yeah.
How many questions, I mean, how many feedbacks were correct that you can use for your analysis? Because, sorry, all the 853, I mean, it happens in all the research that they cannot be reliable. Like, I mean, they answer to two answers, or they miss answering some question. How many of them were reliable that you could use?
You mean from the 883?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we able to do the analysis to all the 850 plus the questionnaire, because of all of them completed answering the question so far.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. For me, it's a little bit like, I mean, 853. I'm like, I don't know how to say that in a better word. It's like very confusing. Why did you pick 853? And how come that all the questionnaires that you ask people to fill up can be reliable? It's just like, I mean, most of the people answer correctly, but we do have it so far. I mean, it's my first time hearing that all the questionnaires were reliable. Anyway, the topic it's fine. The only thing that I'm a little bit like stuck it's your research methodology, and yeah, I'm 100% sure that you do have more information in your paper. Maybe it's just in your slide, or maybe you do not have it in mind how many of the questionnaires were used. Anyway, good luck with your future studies, but this one was good.
Thank you very much, Prof.
You're welcome. So can we have our last but not least presentation, please?
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, Dr. Sharina and other participants.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear. Happy Eid to you. And good luck with your presentation. Your 10 minutes to start from now.
Okay. Oops, this is the last one. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sharina and other participants. Thank you very much for having me. This is the topics of my presentation today. Depression, suicidal ideation and behaviors, and substance use among female university students. And here are my co-authors. I'm Salmi Razali, Noridaya Jaris just now. I just presented hers. Our collaborators from Indonesia, Aditya Warman Terminaldi, unfortunately cannot join today, and our corresponding authors, Fatimah Sham. Prevalence of mental health problems among children and young people in Malaysia is increasing. For example, our National Health and Mobility Survey from 2019 have more than doubled in 2023 from 7.9% to 16.5%. And our data from National Anti-Drugs Agency also noted that there's increase in the prevalence of men and women who use drugs. Unfortunately, there are big gaps of knowledge that we have a dearth of knowledge on relationships between substance use and mental health problems among especially female university students. So our project aims to investigate, to bridge the gaps of knowledge, to investigate the relationships between mental health problems, i.e. depression, suicidal ideation and behaviors, and substance use, i.e. alcohol consumption, smoking habits, and illicit drug use among female university students. And the objectives of the study is to investigate the relationships between mental health problems and substance use among this group of population, and want to compare items of those mental health problems and with the previous and current use of substance use. So this is our methodology. We prepared the proposals and Google Forms. This is actually a secondary analysis of the previous studies done by our group projects. Yep. Teams. Dr. Hidayah just now is one of the team members, and we conduct the primary studies, and this is the secondary studies. We prepared a Google form and we disseminate these Google Forms via online dissemination using social medias, instant messagings, and also emails. And we have ethical approval from Faculty of Medicine and also a Research Ethics Committee, UITM. For the primary studies, the studies have been presented by Dr. Hidayah. For this study, this is a secondary analysis. We choose only female university students aged 18 and above, and those who have given consent. So what are the variables in our background socio-demography? This is a pro forma questionnaires that we have prepared. So later I will show to you what are the variables in the background socio-demography. For the mental health problems, we investigated depression and assessed using the Center for Epidemiological Studies Depression, in which a score more than 27 is considered having depression. We assess suicidal ideation and behaviors using the risk assessment suicidality scales, and both questionnaires have been validated for local use in Malaysia. And for the substance use, we use pro forma questionnaires also, assessing current and previous use dichotomously on smoking habit, alcohol use, and also illicit drug use. These are the results. In the background socio-demography. We assess our participants in terms of age, medical, and health, whether they are in medical or health faculties, or other faculties, home residential areas, number of people living together with them at home. And from here, we know that our participant, more than half of them aged between 21 to 23 years old. And more than half of them is non-medical and non-health of students. And they are coming from more or less the same in terms of home residential areas. They're coming from big city, town, and rural areas. And most of them are living with extended family of more than 5 people living together. Other variables for the background socio-demography are numbers of siblings. Most of them are living with more than 5 children, yeah? And more than 3/4 of them also living with people more than 5, yeah, at their residential college. However, yeah, look at the close friend and confidants. About 10% of them had no close friends at all, have no confidence. Only about 15% of them had more of 5 close friends as confidants. And look at here also, in the background socio-demography, we asked them about their history of mental health problems. About 13.8% of them saying that they have history of mental health problems. However, only 2.8% of them receive therapy for their mental health problems, despite 13.8% has a history of mental health problems. Okay, this is the results of the study. Let us look at the mental health problems. Depression, like I'm saying, measured by CCSD, and suicidal ideation and behaviors measured by RAS. And as I mentioned just now, 13.8% had mental health problems before. However, when we we assess using CESD, 24.9% of them had depression, yeah, with RAS with CSD score, yeah, and only 23 or 2.8% had received therapies. So this is the concern that we have to address. And looking at the suicidal ideation and behavior measured by risk assessment society scale, look at here, if you can focus on the zebra pattern there, this is the score when the items score is 3. About 230 students have no fear of dying, and they have intention of committing suicidal behaviors, yeah, quite prevalence there, yeah. And there are quite high prevalence also yeah, those who have lifetime history of ideation of behaviors, yeah, and quite high also who have recent history of suicidal behaviors and suicidal intention. So this is things that we should address also. What about the substance use and its associations? Look at the alcohol use before the enrollment to the university. Yeah, previous use of alcohol is quite high. However, after joining university, currently there are only 6 of them, yeah, using alcohol. But smoking habit and also illicit drug use have increased significantly, from only 1 increased to 6 students. So these are things that we are worried also. What about the associations with substance use and also mental health problems? We did a t-test to compare. These are only the significant results that I'm showing you here. There is a significant associations between suicidal intention and previous alcohol use, yeah, and there is a significant association also with total score of suicidal ideation and behavior with previous alcohol use. In terms of depression and fear of dying, yeah, there is also significant association with previous alcohol use. And we can see here also depression also associated significantly with previous drug use. So we can conclude here that previous substance use, alcohol, smoking, and illicit drugs among female UC students were associated with higher cases of mental health problems, i.e. depression, suicidal ideation, and behaviors. And, sorry, so fast. And 1 in 4 students have depressive symptoms. This is very, very important for us to address, because in our NHMS or National Health and Morbidity Survey, only 16%, but among our students, about 1 in 4 or 25% of students have depressive symptoms. But only 2.8% of them have proper treatment. It could be because in Malaysia, seeking conventional treatment, seeing counselors, seeing psychiatrists is not the first way of students to seek for help. So it is very, very important for us to improve help-seeking behaviors among students, especially female students. Yeah, it is very, very important for us also to recommend that the higher authorities in university, yeah, to have a concerted and synergistic efforts, yeah, from the university management and faculties, yeah, to have a proper policies and regulations on substance use in among not only students but also all communities in the universities. It's very important for us to increase, yeah, knowledge of students on mental health, increase their mental health literacy, and increase help-seeking behaviors among female university students. That's all I think from me. We'd like to acknowledge our sponsors grant, like I mentioned here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Any question from online friends? All right. So, my dear, being honest with you, this is the presentation that I expected. Everything was very clear. Everything was there. It shows that you have done good effort for that, and very well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The only thing that I wanted to share with you, according to my experience with my student, is that most of the time they don't go to seek for consultant help because of the financial issue. This is not something cheap and affordable. Most of the time, it's expensive to go and seek for consultant and talk to them. If it's private, maybe the government can come up with some solution for the students that they can get the consultancy services with lower price or for free.
Yeah. In our
Maybe it could be part of recommendation.
Yes. In our university, I just want to share that each and every students have their own allocation from the university, so that they can financial support from university, so that they can get help. If I'm not mistaken, because I'm a psychiatrist, and maximum allowance given to the students is around RM 5,000 for them to have a proper medical treatment, including psychiatric treatment and medications. We have also Baitul Mal and Zakat Zawaf unit in our university to help them if they have problems financially. Yes, of course, like you mentioned, if they want to go to private, they have to consider having personal insurance or health insurance or support from their family.
All right. So other than that, I really enjoyed your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a very interesting topic and you have done a very good job. So thanks everyone. That was, I can say that it was first time that all the presenters were women.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we had no
Really didn't realize.
men. The power of women. And I really enjoyed
I
all the
see.
presenters.
It's a
Thank you
woman's
for,
world now. It's a woman's world now.
yeah, with your support. So I enjoyed all of your presentation and good luck everyone.
Right. Thanks again, Sharona.
You're welcome.
How are you doing in Iran? Because there are many news that many news in the news. You feel? Are you okay?
So the
I mean,
thing is that we are
how is it?
fine. We're
How is life there? I mean, everything seems to be normal.
everything is just fine. I just came back from Milan and everything is fine. People were there, they were worried. Like my mom lives in Milan with my sister and all. And then they were like, don't go back. But everything is just fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Everything is
So
normal.
many
Um,
speculative news in the news.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. Everything is just fine. And I'm sure it's
Right.
forget about politics, bro.
Right. Okay. Keep safe. Our doa.
Thank you.
Best
Same.
wishes as
Thank
well.
you.
Right. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
didn't have.
Bye-bye.
Right. Okay. Thanks for sharing this session. I forgot
You're
to.
welcome.
Yeah, I forgot to have a snapshot of all those participating. Are you all still here? Can you show your faces, please? We are going to have a group photo. I forgot to mention this to the other group. Everybody concealed
This
behind.
group is like all women.
Ah, come on, don't be camera shy. Gonna have a snapshot. No? Yes? No? All camera shy? Right, okay. Right.
You're all coming.
One. Oh, by the way, right. One. Yeah, get on. Switch on your camera on, please. Well, I just remind you that it is very important for you to attend the post-conference, which is on Wednesday. I know most of you do not think that is important because you will not be in the running for the best paper award. But a big but is that we will have a one-to-one special tutorial so that you will not be surcharged. Okay, that's the last option that we are giving, because we are having a one-to-one session to make sure that your submission is proper and adherence to the requirements. Okay, so most of the time the virtual presenters do not attend because you know that you are not in the running for the best paper award. But like I said, you know, it's your last chance not to be surcharged. Okay, so I keep on reminding the virtual presenters. I forgot to mention the first session just now. Anyway, do attend for the rest of the virtual presentations. We got a long day today until 5:30, and also please attend for tomorrow face-to-face opening. We got also the keynote speech and the rest of the presentations, right? And for the session today, we will be keeping the same link. Okay, the same link will be used throughout the day, right? Thanks again, Sharona.
All right.
See you in
You're welcome. See you again.
see you in London, August. Our next
All right.
conference.
Thank
Our
you.
next conference, yeah, it's
Thank
confirmed.
you.
Yeah, it's confirmed. So you guys here are the first to know about the news, actually, because I forgot to mention it to the previous presenter. So our conference will be in London, 29, 30, 31 August. So please book your ticket early because it's cheaper to book early. Sharona, seriously, see you in London.
See you. Bye-bye.
Right, thank you, bye-bye.
Thanks, Ruth.
Right,
Bye.
bye-bye.